This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host, #1 best-selling author of the book Own Your Past, Change Your Future. Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today as we talk to you and help you with building wealth, doing work that you love, and creating actual amazing relationships. The phones are open. The phone number is 888-825-5225. Christian starts off this hour in New Jersey. Hi, Christian. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, Mr. Ramsey and Mr. Deloney. How are you guys today?
Better than we deserve. What's up?
I'm happy to hear. I've been a listener to the Ramsey Show since I was in my early 20s, and I appreciate your advice. So I'm calling because I recently got my master's degree, and I'm going to be starting a new job. For the first time ever, I'm going to have extra money at the end of the month once my bills and savings are taken care of.
Good for you. What's your master's in?
Thank you. It's in biology with a concentration in ecology and evolution.
Wonderful. What are you going to be doing?
I'm going to be an environmental scientist.
Oh, ding, ding. What's your income going to be?
$55K.
All right. Good for you. Way to go. I love it. So, and so you have this trouble now. You just got too much money.
Well, I'm going to have more money once I start my job than I've ever had before. And I was wondering how I can best utilize this money to financially secure my future. Mm-hmm. It's my understanding that I'm supposed to put 15% of my pay into retirement savings. I'm unsure if that is before and after taxes. Mm-hmm. And also, I'm an avid saver. Mm-hmm. However, I feel as though I'm just saving to watch my bank account grow.
Right.
And I wanted to ask, how can I intentionally take action to ensure that I'm financially prepared for my future?
You are truly a scientist.
Incredible. I love it.
I love it. Very process driven. You're going to be so wealthy. Oh, good for you. All right. So you have no debt, I take it.
Technically, no.
Well, what's technically mean?
Well, sir, my parents were very, very kind. They bought a car for me when I was in grad school. The loan is under my name, but they're taking care of the payments.
Nope. If it's your car and you're responsible for the debt, you have debt. We need to clear that up.
Yes.
Okay.
Mom and dad being in debt on your behalf is not cool. So how much do you owe on your car?
It's approximately $7,000.
Good deal. Well, you're going to knock that out first. Then you're going to build an emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of expenses. Then you're going to save 15% of your income. And if you want to save beyond that, I would say you're probably saving for your first house. Would you agree with that?
Okay.
Would you agree with that?
Sure. I've never thought that I could be able to afford a house, but that's a
You
good
have a
goal.
master's degree. Why couldn't you get a house?
Christian,
of course you're going to be able to get a house.
What did your parents do for a living?
Well, my father, he works for the USPS.
Okay.
And my mother works at an adult care center for adults with disabilities.
So you have two parents who worked really hard, but they didn't make a ton of money. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. I come from a very similar situation. Dad's a police officer. Mom was staying at home. It was tough. And Dave has given me an incredible gift. And the gift is this idea of ratios, which is I have been so scared of money my whole life, waiting for the next shoe to drop, that I'm somebody that, like you, likes to watch the account grow just because it makes me feel safer, and it's an illusion. And so it's this idea of what does safe feel like, and it's this ratio. So you're making more money probably than both your parents combined have made. And you're going to enjoy some of that. You're going to spend some of that. You're going to save some of that. And for whichever one of those categories is the one that feels the most awkward to you, then you're going to have to be disciplined in that category. And it sounds strange to say you're going to have discipline in enjoying your life. But that's one thing that you struggle with because you've been fighting or fleeing your whole life, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so you're here. You did it. And so now what you're going to do is you're going to say, I have to go out with friends once a month or twice a month, and I got to spend money on something, like on a new something. I'm going to have to build that in.
It's like federal law. If you score a touchdown, you must do a touchdown dance. I mean, it's that. If you're making some money, you have to enjoy part of it.
Right.
Enjoy giving part of it, and enjoy saving part of it.
I took a call on my show the other day. Someone said that I can't give. How do I do that? And I said, you practice. Put it on your thing and make yourself do it, right?
Absolutely.
And watch people's body language. But whatever one of those things, some people spend too much, don't save. You got to practice it, and you got to make that a discipline.
Yeah, you're not going to have to practice savings. That one's going to come to you easy.
Right.
And so on. So, all right, James is with us. James is in Phoenix. Hi, James. How are you?
I'm better than I deserve, Dave. How are you?
Just the same, sir. How can we help?
Awesome. Just had a question for you guys. I felt a little double-minded in this financial journey, kind of like foot on the gas and then feeling like not having enough family time. And so then swinging to the other end of things and, just really not wanting to go for it in life. Some of these financial sacrifices at the sacrifice of family and, that emotional connection with family. So just wondering, even just practical tips on how you can make that happen. In my industry,
here's the thing.
Even like the top guys in my industry.
If you did the stuff, if you did the intense thing where you're sacrificing your family for an extended period of time, you'd be sacrificing your family. When you do it for a short period of time in a sprint called gazelle intensity, like a year or 2 years, and you're busting it for a short period of time, you're not sacrificing your family. You're sacrificing for your family. Because your kids are going to have a completely different life because you got up off the freaking couch and were watching Netflix in the name of family time and went and did something instead. So the gazelle intensity thing usually doesn't last 18 to 24 months because you're out of debt. How much debt have you got, not counting your house?
We're almost out of debt. We just have a few grand of medical bills that are somewhat pending. And then we build the emergency fund.
So where is it that why is it you're going to be intense for so long then?
I guess maybe not even the baby steps, but just the idea of building for the future sometimes is, it's a sacrifice.
Yes. Let me put it.
Just want to make sure I'm not sacrificing family at the expense of just building a happy future.
How many hours would you be working while you're doing this?
To build the emergency fund?
No, to do what you're talking about, where you're losing your family. I'm confused. You're working a 40-hour week or what?
Yeah, I think my wife and I were both quality time people, so we feel, the stress. If we hit like 50 hours a week, we just are feeling it in the household.
Let me tell you this. If you are with your family and you owe a bunch of money and you're not safe, you will be in the physical proximity of your family, but you will not be with them. And your kids will feel that tension, that frustration, and they will think it's their fault. The greatest gift you can give your kids is to set them up on a safe foundation. And if you owe somebody money, you're not safe.
I would set your life up where it runs perfectly after baby step 3 on 40 or 50 hours a week.
Yeah.
And if you're doing that, you should be. That's the way we teach. That's moving from intensity to intentionality. And you're going to be just fine if you max out at 50 a week. That's fine. No problem. Nobody around here is telling you to work 80 a week after you hit baby step 3. Look, I love real estate, and I want you to have a house, but I don't want a house to have you. That's why you need to get in touch with Churchill Mortgage to make sure you do this right. These guys are awesome. They'll help you get on a smarter mortgage plan because they're committed to doing what's right for you. That means they check in every year with free consultations to help you stay on the right plan. They show you how to save money and interest so you can build wealth faster. They walk you through the total cost of your loan so you can make the best choice. Basically, they care. That's why we call them Ramsey Trusted. You can achieve debt-free home ownership, and Churchill is here to help. Go to their site, churchillmortgage.com/Ramsey, to start your approval or get more information. Building Wealth live tour is in full swing. We were in Las Vegas last week with almost 3,000 folks. We are going to be next Thursday, 1 week from today, in Orlando, May 19th, and we've got over 3,000 there. That event is within 100 tickets of selling out. If you want to come, I would suggest you get on the website, Orlando, today. Go to RamseySolutions.com/events, and you can get a 4-pack for $60 or single tickets at $25. That's a way you and some friends can take some friends. All of our events have the $25 or 4-pack starting at $60. Orlando is $60. Phoenix, Arizona will be there September the 13th. Sacramento, November the 1st. Minneapolis, November the 10th. San Antonio, November the 15th. It's Rachel Cruz, George Camel, me, Dr. John Deloney, and, of course, Ken Coleman. And we'll be there talking about how to build real wealth in a world that's lost its ever-loving on things going on out there. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It's an evening event. We would love to have you. All of these are, I think, Thursday. Maybe that 13th of September might be a Tuesday, but they're all like that kind of a night out for you, your spouse, your friends, or whatever you want to do. Again, a 4-pack beginning at $60. Check it all out at RamseySolutions.com/events. Our question of the day comes from Blinds.com. Find out for yourself why Blinds.com is the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings. Free samples, free shipping, and with the new promos they run every month, you'll save even more. Use the promo code Ramsey, and you can get the best deal.
Today's question comes from Nathan in Mississippi. Nathan writes, how can I stop worshiping money? I'm currently on baby step 3B, and throughout these years of grinding away to build my savings, I found myself so focused on the goal that it's becoming all-consuming. I work as a truck driver, and I work anywhere from 13 to 15 hours a night. I'm tired and I'm burnt out. Recently, I feel God is telling me to slow down and go at His pace. How can I still attack this thing without feeling like I'm putting the money before everything else? Whenever I think of the word worship, Dave, I think of fear. Think of in awe of. And like we just talked with the last caller here, I spent years worshiping money because it was something I was scared of. Whether it was the scarcity, I didn't know how it worked. I didn't know how all these stock markets were going up and down and my neighbors' houses were worth whatever. And so it took over. And when I got some insight about it and some knowledge about it and some people around me that could coach me through it, it lost its power. Because I had a relationship. I learned more about it. I wasn't scared of it anymore. And then I think about worshiping God, and I think there's an awe and a reverence and I'm going to say like a destructive fear, but a healthy relational fear there. What do you think about that?
I think that's accurate. The thing is, you step to the side of any item that becomes an idol, and you set it in its proper place in your mind and in your spiritual walk in your life, and you say, okay, this is an item. It is a tool. Money is really of no value except for what it can do. It makes a lousy God. It makes a lousy master.
Yep.
And also makes a lousy slave even. So you want to control the money, not it control you. And there's a difference. The only Larry Burkett used to say the only difference in saving and hoarding is your attitude. It's not an amount. It's not a process. It's not a level of intentionality. It's not a level of diligence. Both are very diligent, savers, investors, and hoarders. They're very. It's just your attitude about it. It's what are you trying to get from it, not what are you doing.
Right.
And not the amount, and not how many years you've been doing, or something like that. So I'm very intentional with money. I actually always have been, even before I went broke. I've always been intentional. But I am a manager of it since I went broke. Before that, I was more of a worshiper of it. I thought it was going to bring me happiness. I thought if you think it's going to be your provider, then you've given it too much power. And then you can set it to the side. But, the fact that you've been working hard and hitting some goals and you want to slow down, that's not a worshiping issue. That's just a realization that I'm at baby step 3B, which is where we tell people to move from intensity to intentionality, like the last caller.
Yeah, and you have to do that. You have to change your identity, right? Your identity was one of running and crushing and getting this thing done, and now you're moving to one of intentionality, right place, right time. Now, what are we going to do moving forward, right?
Yeah, I'm not a sprinter. I'm a marathoner.
There you go.
I changed my name.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I used to be a sprinter because I had to do that. I had to run. The cheetah was chasing me, so I had to run. And now I can just calm down, and I don't have to work 7 days a week, 15 hours a night. Right. You know, and God is telling you to slow down. Yeah. I think that probably was God. But worshiping money you can do when you don't have any, when you have a lot, when you're in the middle of it, when you've gotten the other side of it. You can worship at any time. That's a position of the heart. It's not a position of the money or a baby step or anything like that. And, you know, that does say, so here's the thing. Again, I think it's a good, both of these are questions are somewhat parallel. And so it's really important for you folks out there to hear, I am all about, we at Ramsey are all about you going absolutely crazy, and I don't care how hard you work. I don't care if you're working 40 hours a day for a short period of time to get your freaking mess cleaned up. You spent 4 years, 5 years, 9 years making a mess. You are not going to clean that up in 9 days. You are going to have to roll up your sleeves and sacrifice and hurt. There's going to be pain involved, discomfort, inconvenience. I'm not going to see my baby. Your baby's asleep while you're working. You need to get your butt in gear and clean up your mess for the sake of your family. That type of stuff is gazelle intensity, we call it, is for baby steps 1 through 3 and is generally somewhere in the 18 to 24 month range. I don't ask people to do that for 5 years. It's very unusual. Sometimes you have to, but it's very unusual. Most of the time it's 1 month to 24 months and you are done. Once you get out of debt, everything but your house, and you have your emergency fund in place, we suggest at Ramsey that you take your foot off the gas, back it off a little bit, go into marathon mode, and now you've got a more balanced schedule. You drop some of those side hustles, and now you're going to spend more time with your family, which, by the way, is going to be a better quality of time because you don't have this debt hanging over you, and you're not preoccupied with MasterCard calling your phone while you're trying to play with your kids.
Right. And I also think it's important that for the last caller, too, there are seasons of every single job when these are 60 or 70 hour a week months, right? And that's just part of life. And I think the challenge that most have is they don't know how to have that conversation at home with their spouse, with their kids. And I'm thinking back to before we went through this book season. Like Sheila and I sat down with a calendar and said, here's what this is going to look like now. Yep. And she's all in. Got it. And then here's what it's going to look like when my foot comes off the gas, right? And we can reconnect. And then this. So I think it's about being intentional about it. Like you mentioned it. It's about being intentional. But you can't be scared of hard work, man. In the name of, if I miss this.
In the name of nurture.
If I miss this one game, then I'm the terrible dad and I'm the worst and all that kind of stuff. It's nonsense.
But don't set your life up where you miss them all for the rest of your life.
Absolutely, yes.
Because you're so freaking broke you can't breathe.
That's right.
You know, so get the mess straightened up. And sometimes it's just to hit a goal. Yeah. Sometimes it's just to do some stuff. Like tomorrow, for the next 3 days, Sharon and I have Rachel's kids. And we won't be doing anything except Rachel's kids for 3 days. The next Thursday, I will leave here early in the morning and end up in Orlando, and I will have lunches and dinners and events and building wealth, and then we have Entree Leadership Summit that begins on Sunday. I'm speaking at a church on Sunday morning, and for the next 7 days after that, I'm probably going to do 80 hours, and I don't even have to work.
Right.
But I'm doing that to hit some goals, but there's an ebb and flow to this. Right. You know, and that's scheduled. I'm emotionally prepared, and it's not forever. It's for 7 whole days. It's not going to kill old Dave. You know, he's not going to whine about it, you know. But I'm going to hit some serious goals during that time, and our team is going to hit some serious goals during that time, and I'm leading the charge. The front of the horse with the sword pointed forward, you know. And, hey, game on. But I'm not doing the 80 hours a week anymore, 7 days a week for, you know, months on end.
And you did it for a season
week
for this, right?
I did a long time ago.
Yeah. For this, right?
And my kids all survived it.
Barely.
This is the Ramsey Show.
Still on baby step number 1, eh?
How'd you guess?
With healthcare costs rising, learn how Christian Healthcare Ministries can help you make the most out of your budget. Visit chministries.org/budget.
Don't worry, it's worth it.
Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. This is the Ramsey Show in the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage. Donnie and Lauren are with us. Welcome, guys.
Thank you for having us.
So good to have you. Where do you live?
Bakersfield, California.
Ah, welcome to Nashville. And how much debt have you paid off?
$108,000.
Good for you. And how long did that take?
13 months.
All right. And your range of income during that time?
During that time, we were around $106,000, and we bumped it up to about $148,000.
Whoa, nice jump.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And what kind of debt was the 108?
Man, we were normal people. We had credit cards. We had a solar loan, student loan, trailer loan.
Furniture.
And a furniture loan, too.
We were those people.
Normal people.
Just everything.
Yes.
There wasn't a debt you couldn't like.
Man, yeah.
Well, 0%, come on.
Yeah.
It's free.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, so how long you guys been married?
Going on 8 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
What happened 13 months ago?
Well, you know, our journey kind of went back further than that when I decided to take out $60,000 in student loans. Man, I had no way to figure out how we're going to pay for this or how I was going to pay for this. And it was just a burden that I carried, $60,000. And fast forwarding it to, you know, our marriage, I carried that forward in. And I was embarrassed by it. And we also accrued additional debt, like we said. You know, we were living like normal people. Yeah. But through that time, I was always just trying to figure out how can we pay off all this mess that I and we created. And so I was listening to your podcast, your YouTube show. You know, I was watching it and listening to it on my way to work, talking about it, trying to get her on board. You know, even so much that the church that we attend at, Canyon Hills Assembly of God in Bakersfield, California, they asked me to lead a financial peace course a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of where our journey began.
Yeah, so when Donnie first taught financial peace in January of 2020, right before the pandemic,
of course,
we were on a single income, and I wasn't able to attend every class. And in particular, I missed session 2, which I feel like is the one you need to hear. But so when he started getting excited about the classes he was teaching and what he was learning, I wasn't on board. I felt like, you know, we're already on a tight budget. How can we possibly cut anything more back? I squashed him down, and I knew it wasn't right, but it just didn't seem like something feasible. Well, fast forward to July of 2020, I picked up a part-time from home social media content creation job, and that was our first taste of, wow, we've got a little chunk of money. Yep. You know, this is exciting. We could save it, and we didn't really have the right mentality yet. And then 5 months from there, I picked up a second part-time job. It was another opportunity just the Lord gave to me, and doing HR work, which was my prior experience. Mm-hmm. So now I've replaced about 2/3 of my income. Yep. It's very exciting, but we were still ish. We still believed in our Costco credit card, that, you know, earning those points, and we weren't following a budget. We were overspending. So when the pandemic started kind of easing up a little bit, it was time to coordinate again in January of 2021. And so I attended, and I saw session 2 of FPU, and it was everything for me. It changed how I saw debt. It changed. It's not something that should be a part of you that's normal, that, you know, everybody has it. It's something to get mad at. It's something to realize this is taking your future. This is taking your legacy. And I was ready to just be all in.
Correct. So that night we went home and had a heart-to-heart conversation. And that night we decided we are not going to live like normal people anymore. We are going to change the course of our lives and our kids' lives, and we were all in. We were all in. And so we dove right into it and started working the steps.
Yeah, we cut up the credit card. We set up our financial snowball. We started taking out the little ones, and it was so exciting.
It was.
Paid off the credit card, paid off the furniture, paid off the trailer, and we're like feeling invincible. And I'm like, what else can I do? I'm going to get a third job. Let's do this.
Yeah.
So I picked up a third job.
All while raising 2 kids and, staying home, full-time mom.
Yeah, hours were crazy. Late nights, early mornings.
Mm-hmm.
It was so worth it because the fire was there. I finally got it, and I finally realized why one spouse can't just do this. You have to have both on board because
even if he's teaching Financial Peace University.
Yep. Yes, exactly.
Did I miss that part of the story?
No, but you actually have to attend it too.
For a whole year,
Yeah.
he's been teaching it. And you're standing over here with your arms crossed going, no way. Donnie, what were you thinking? You had to be going,
I was patient. I made a lot of mistakes too. I love to spend, and so, but, she was patient. The Lord, we were praying, and, the Lord spoke to you.
Yeah, and so once I finally got on board and we're taking care of this.
Oh, it's game on now.
It was everything. And
but that was a long year for him teaching Financial Peace University. Meanwhile, we're using the Costco credit card. That's like...
It was my fault. I'm like, we're fine.
Yeah.
And, when we did the numbers, we were overspending by something like $400 a month, all for a $700 check at the, one time a year or something crazy. It was like, this math does not work. It's all about the math.
Correct.
And, it's hard to get there, and you just have to really look at yourself and realize.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when we finally got to the student loan, the used car market was pretty good.
Yeah, and so during that time, we had a 2016 Toyota 4Runner, and we were already paying off debt. But then at this point, we're like, what can we do to accelerate paying off the student loan? So we decided to sell our car, and I took it to the dealership, and they offered us just a couple $1,000s less than I paid for it brand new. And so we went down, and I put a big chunk down to the student loan, and a little bit of that money, we bought a used high mileage car.
We call it my Dave Ramsey car. Sorry.
Yeah, and so, and at that point we only had $18,000 left, and man, we were just thinking, what else can we sell? I mean, we were looking around the house. What can we do? We were so close, and then, we were looking to the side of the house, and we're like, why not the trailer? So, even though we just bought it, we decided $18,000 less left on the student loan. Let's just go ahead and sell it.
So do you wish you still had the trailer?
No, did I wish?
Yeah.
No,
is that a good trade you made?
Yes, it was.
It was 100% worth it.
Correct.
And, even just the trade of knowing if we really want another one, which we do, we're going to save cash for it down the road, and it's going to be okay.
Correct. And so, once we decided to sell the trailer, that Monday, we went down and paid off our student loan, and we became debt-free in February of 2022.
Awesome, man.
It was awesome.
That's amazing. Well done, you guys. That's a great journey.
And another big motivator was, his company is being sold. And
Correct.
So we really looked at each other and we thought, we have to get an emergency fund
Correct.
going. We don't know what our future is going to be. What are we willing to do? And we were willing to do anything.
Yeah, and because of your guys' teachings, I'm not stressed and worried about it. It's in God's hands. We're okay. Our kids are okay. We're doing fine. So
that's so cool. Good for you guys.
Gosh, that's awesome.
So proud of y'all. Well done.
Thank you.
Very well done. We got a copy of Baby Steps Millionaires for you. That's the next chapter in your story for sure. And we're also going to give you a gift card for Financial Peace in every dollar, the Ramsey Plus subscription for a year. Since you're a coordinator, you'll be able to give that away, I'm sure, to find somebody that needs that help. And same thing with the Total Money Makeover book. You'll have an extra one of those as well to give away and pay it forward. So we'll step into your generosity step here.
Thank you.
So good stuff. Good stuff, you guys. Well done. All right, it's Donnie and Lauren from Bakersfield, California. $108,000 paid off in 13 months, making $106 to $148. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
Ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1.
We're debt-free!
Whatever it takes.
Love it. Bust it.
Whatever it takes.
Sell it. Sell it. This is The Ramsey Show. Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Jane's in Phoenix. Hi, Jane. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dave.
Hey, what's up?
Awesome. Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Well, thank you.
Yes. So anyway, my question is, I'm 36 years old. I'm engaged.
Yay.
We are getting... Thank you. It took us a long time to find each other. Anyway, I have always, since I was a little kid, like, money equals security for me. Mm-hmm. And I've actually completed all of those baby steps before I even knew who Dave Ramsey was.
Good.
And so I just want to tell you, like, that's like a huge part of, what kind of makes me whole, as bad as that might sound, but the ultimate goal is, financial freedom. Mm-hmm. I don't make money to go buy Gucci purses and stuff like that.
I'm betting the guy that you're marrying is not a saving tightwad like you.
That is correct.
Opposites attract, I've heard.
That is also true. He's the best man. That he treats me so well. He loves me so much. It's just that we had different upbringings when it came to finances. And so I asked him to sign a prenup because I have built a little bit of a nest egg for myself.
What is a little bit of a nest egg?
$1 million.
Okay. And he has nothing?
Yep, exactly.
Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair.
He's got his car.
That's
fair.
Fair.
He's got his car.
Okay.
Now, the good thing is he was in some toxic relationships in the past, and he has, become a better version of himself, and he's learned from these toxic relationships. Trying to impress women with stuff. Right?
How old is he?
42.
Okay. Been married before?
He was married in his 20s, but
what
no
about
kids.
You?
Nope, never married, no kids.
All right. Cool.
Mm-hmm. And so I asked him to sign a prenup because, finances are my security, and it would be very detrimental to me if something didn't work out and I lost half of that. So he has been really cool, and he understands that just by knowing.
What's your question?
The question is, how do I deal with, like, someone that is not on the same financial, level as me, not level in terms of income, because he could make that in what he does for work. He could make that up. But, like, how do I control my anxiety of, like, right now?
I'll let John address that. Let me back up about 3 steps, and I want to hit 2 things, and then I want him to step into the relationship part of this too. Number one, I do agree, and I rarely agree, but in your case, the difference is so extreme, and when there's an extreme difference of $1 million or more, I do recommend a prenup. So I do agree with the prenup. I don't agree with why you did it.
Okay.
You did it trying to protect where you feel like security comes from. Mistake. Because security doesn't come from money. It gives you some security. It gives you some sense of peace. But you're placing more on it than you should, and you actually said that, right?
Right.
Okay. So I don't want you doing this to protect this from him. I just think it's general wisdom because the differences are so extreme. And I'll even go a step further. The reason that I used to tell people never do a prenup, but the reason I started doing it where the differences are extreme is not you and him, but it's your wacky relatives. And they go, well, he married a millionaire, so I'm going to jump in here, and I got a whole agenda now. And here comes Crazy Eddie, the cousin, right? And something, he's got a nice barrier now. He goes, I got a prenup. I can't help. So, you can kind of rule Crazy Eddie out at Thanksgiving dinner. And so it shuts down the weirdness around these differences. But what you're identifying that John and I can both speak to is that you have to get on the same page prior to marriage about how we're going to handle money. He's never going to be as extreme as you are, and you're never going to be as loose as he is, but you've got to get each other, and you got to get closer together than you are now, because you're going to tear each other's eyes out otherwise.
Here, I'm gonna be real honest with you. Is that cool?
Yeah, please.
I feel like you have a part of you that you want to stay yours. And you want to build a brick wall around it because this is mine. And then the rest of me, I'm going to marry out.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do that. That's not how your marriage is it's going to end up. He's not going to ever fully have you. Now, I'm not saying he has access to $1 million in a checking account. I'll follow Dave's financial wisdom there. What I'm saying is you have told him, I don't find security in you. I don't find security in our marriage. I don't find security in the same theology. I find security in this bank account that you can't touch. Now let's get married and go make a life together. So right. It's a sentiment. It's a moving forward. So I wouldn't start the conversation with him, I handle money better than you. You never have. I would start the conversation like this. We are about to sign up for forever with each other, and I'm only doing this once. Here's what I need. Having us on the same page with a budget makes me feel safe. It makes me feel heard, and it makes me be able to sleep at night. And he's going to say, having you spend some money for us to go dancing and go laugh a little bit and go on vacation makes me feel seen and heard, and you can go, cool, I'm all in. And he can go, cool, I'm all in. And he's going to have to learn some new tools that he doesn't have. So you're going to have to be patient with him and curious and practice. And you don't know how to cut loose and spend some money and go dancing. And he's going to teach you how to do that. That's the beauty of this thing moving forward. If you both make it a point to meet each other's needs the best you can. You hear what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is a core issue.
And then I guess the other kind of question I have, John and Dave, is like, I've never had to support someone. And right now he just recently switched jobs, and it takes a while to kind of build up your book of business. And right now I'm paying rent, and I'm also giving him extra cash I have when I get paid.
You're not married.
Yeah, right. Well,
you don't give people cash, you're not married.
Yeah.
Okay, he is not making anything right now, and
he needs to go do DoorDash.
Yeah, he's got to start mowing lawns.
He did get the sign up for Uber, so I don't know the process of that, but he
can make money tonight.
Go door knocking. He's got to figure that out. And you, when you get married, it's y'all's money. You're not paying his rent. It's y'all's money.
Yeah.
And one day you might lose your job and he's working.
You're not supporting anyone when you're married. It's ours.
It's ours.
Right. Well, I am supporting him right now.
You don't
and
need to be.
It's giving me anxiety.
Yes. Yeah, that should give you anxiety.
And if he's giving you a precursor of what's to come, and you can't sleep at night, don't marry this person, or at least have some hard conversations with a marriage therapist really quick, like premarital counseling.
Yeah.
Yeah. We do have a counselor that we talk to, so that's
you've got to get this to where he is demonstrating that he can stand on his own, and because that's going to freak every time. That's going to freak you out, and it's going to freak you out more than everybody else. It will freak out anybody, but it's going to freak you out even more because of the way you're wired.
Right.
I mean, you got to be kind of like waking up at 2:30 in the morning going, "Yeah!" right now, right?
Yeah.
Did you wake up? Did you grow up financially insecure?
Not insecure, but my dad and mom, there was some cheating that happened. So as a young kid, I was like, that's it. I'm going to provide for myself. So at the age of 8, I started saving my money.
So let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. That's trauma. And I want you to go to a counselor by yourself.
Yep,
and I want you to tell them, I need to learn how to accept connection in my life and stop relying on this imaginary pot of money. It's not imaginary. The pot's real. The safety's imaginary. I want to learn how to find security in relationships, and I've never been able to do that, and I need to learn those skills. That's your new assignment moving forward.
Yeah, and don't give people money to that you're not married to. He needs to go work extra, and he should want to.
He should be crazed about it.
Yes. This is the Ramsey Show.
Hey, it's John Deloney, co-host of The Ramsey Show. Did you know over 18 million people listen to The Ramsey Show every week? A lot of those people listen on one of our 600-plus radio stations across the country. To find a station near you, go to RamseySolutions.com/show.
This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. Dr. John Deloney, #1 best-selling author of the brand new book, Own Your Past, Change Your Future, is my co-host today as we talk about your building of wealth, your work, doing work that you love, and creating actual amazing relationships. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Brian is in Chicago. Hey, Brian, how are you?
I'm good, Dave. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday to you. What's up?
Just discovered your content. I've been binge watching it over the past couple of weeks and decided to make the decision to get really aggressive about paying off my mortgage.
Cool.
So I got a condo in Chicago about a year ago, and I was looking over my budget. I feel like if I really get aggressive and go on the beans and rice diet, I could get this thing paid off in 2 years.
Wow.
So my question though is, I've got about 30-something thousand saved in the mutual fund. I'm wondering if I should be attacking this directly monthly with payments, or if I should be putting it into the mutual funds and then doing a lump sum payoff in 2.5 years.
I would throw money at it as fast and as hard as I could from every angle, not counting your emergency fund. And I'm assuming you're debt-free other than the condo.
15,000 student loans that I'm paying off as well.
Okay. So I would cash out is the mutual fund in a retirement account?
No, I have a 401k that I'm not touching, which is through Vanguard, and I also have mutual funds through Vanguard.
Yeah, I would cash out the $30,000 and pay off the student loan today. I would build a separate money market account as an emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of expenses. I'd start putting 15% of my household income and no more into your 401k, and everything above that I'm going to throw at the condo. Monthly, as fast and as often as I can. But anytime you can get your hands on a lump sum that is not a retirement account, you throw it at that. But it sounds like this mutual fund money is going to be used for other stuff. You have any money saved for emergencies other than the mutual fund and the 401k?
I have $5,000 in a savings account.
What do you make a year?
Depending on bonuses and that, about $110.
Good for you. Well, you're doing really good.
Yeah, you're
doing good. Proud of you. So all we're doing is giving you a fine-tuned program using the system that we've used for 30 years with people that's led people to become millionaires. It's called the baby steps. Baby step 1 is $1,000 in the bank. 2 is debt-free but the house. So I immediately went after your student loan. 3 is you build an emergency fund by adding to the $1,000 account of 3 to 6 months of expenses in your house. That's $15,000 or $20,000. And once you've got that rainy day fund and no payments but a house payment, you move on to baby step 4. You put 15% of your income, so 16 grand in your case, into good mutual funds in your 401k every year. And above that, any money we can find in the budget, I start chunking it on the mortgage. Now, that's going to mean your mortgage does not pay off in 2 years. That's going to mean your mortgage pays off in 3 to 4 years, which is just fine. How old are you?
31.
Oh, you'll be 35 with a paid-for condo, and you will have been putting money in a mutual fund. You'll have no debt, and you'll have an emergency fund in place. This is a beautiful picture we're painting.
And I would tell you this.
Sounds good.
You may be different than me, probably not. if I'm just have another account or I'm just dumping, like I say, you got $1,000 a month extra every month after you pay off your student loan, and you're just putting money in there, and you think I'm going to pay off my mortgage in $10,000 chunks, the chances of you having $9,000 and then somebody calling saying, hey, let's go on a trip together, that's just really hard. So I would pay that every month. Whatever you got left, I would pay that as you go once you fill up that emergency fund and not just save it for these big chunks.
Yeah. John might see a Prius that he wanted to buy. And he would just run out and buy a Prius. Or he might see a deer rifle.
I could be both, yes. Yes.
Which are incongruent, by the way. But he might.
I told you that,
such is
right?
John.
I tell you that.
Such is John.
The first time I ever went deer hunting and I got my first deer, I had shown up to the place with my father-in-law and my son and my wife's Prius.
The deer processing place?
And I showed up to the deer processor and I opened the back hatch and it had a big 11-point buck in it. And this high school kid looks at me as though I just pulled an alien out of the car. And he said, sir, I've never seen this before. And I was like,
and it's not an 11-point buck that he's never seen before.
It's a big deer hunt. He goes, no, the Prius. Yeah, exactly. Oh, it's good.
Incongruent. I like it. Christine is in Springfield, Illinois. Hey, Christine, what's up?
Hey, Dave. How's it going?
Great. How can we help?
Well, my husband is 57, and I am 51, and we are debt-free, including our home. It's worth probably about $270.
Wow. Good for you guys.
We had an accident several years ago and ended up with a settlement, so we paid off our home and then put some money into our retirement account. We've got about $1 million in our IRA. There's about $1 million in the 401k up until probably this last few days.
Mm-hmm.
And our youngest is going to be 21. Kids don't have a bunch of debt. We've helped them as much as we could. They got good scholarships. But I had a family member die in the last month, and so there's going to be a chunk there. So I'm guessing maybe $20,000-$30,000 max. What should I do with that? And now that we're completely debt-free, no credit cards, nothing like that, where should we put that several $1,000s a month that we have just sitting in a bank account? Because right now my husband's like, I want to have cash on hand. And I'm like, honey, we have over $100,000 cash on hand. We can't hoard it in a bank account.
Enough, hoarder.
Nothing.
Yeah, prepper.
Yeah,
enough.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So what do I do with those two bits?
Yeah.
And by the way, we do have plenty of life insurance. His work offers really good rates on term insurance.
Okay.
So we've got plenty of term insurance on both of us.
You guys have done a wonderful job.
Congratulations.
You're everyday baby steps millionaires. Very, very, very well done. Congratulations.
Will you call my husband and tell him that? He's afraid we're going to starve.
Yeah, you're not going to starve.
He's so nervous.
You're not going to starve.
He's afraid that in retirement we're not going to have enough money to live on.
Tell him to turn the news off.
Turn the news off.
Turn the news off.
Walk away from the computer.
Use the off
button. Get off the computer. Do not look at all of the conspiracy theories. Okay. Yeah, you're gonna be just fine. You've done a wonderful job. There are 3 things you can do with money, and you steadily ought to do that with your monthly income and with this inheritance. And I'd recommend you write it out in both cases. Take the dollar amount and give every one of those dollars an assignment. How much of this is going to fun? How much of this is going to more investing? And how much is going to generosity? I think your husband needs to increase his fun and his generosity, but you need to be doing all 3 things. It'll be good for him to practice those muscles. They're kind of weak for him. This is The Ramsey Show. Chaos. That's what it can feel like when your business is growing so fast you've outgrown your financial and accounting software. The faster you grow, the more likely you are to lose control of the numbers. And here's the reality. If you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business. That's why we use NetSuite by Oracle, the #1 cloud financial system. Over 28,000 companies use NetSuite by Oracle, including Ramsey Solutions, because NetSuite gives us a single view of everything we need to make daily decisions. Whether you're making a few million to hundreds of millions a year, NetSuite gives you the visibility and control of the things you need to grow, like your financials, inventory, HR, planning, budgeting, and more, all in one dashboard. Go to netsuite.com/Ramsey right now to get their free white paper. Jumpstart your CFO career. What do you do when you come across something that helps you do life better? Well, you tell your friends about it. Tell your relatives about it, at least the ones you like. When you find a great new gadget, a reliable mechanic, a great restaurant, a good movie, a book, you tell your friends about it because you don't want them to miss out. Well, that's why the Ramsey Show has grown to be one of the biggest radio shows, podcasts, YouTube in the world, because millions like you tune in and can't help but share with your friends. And you tell everybody. It's how it's changed your life. Thank you for that. And we appreciate you sharing how you cut up your credit cards, how you got out of debt, how you built wealth, how you saved money, how you got your marriage strengthened, how you changed your career. Hey, all these things. And we appreciate that. And so if you found us on a podcast, on YouTube, on SiriusXM, your local radio station, wherever you found us, don't keep it to yourself, please. Share your favorite episode of The Ramsey Show with your friends or family so they can get the hope and the help that they need, because no one should miss out on this. It's been working for a very long time for millions of people. Tuning into this show right now is somewhere between 20 and 25 million people, probably closer to 25 million. By the time this thing goes out in all of its various forms, podcast, YouTube, radio, all that. And so it's not really a big secret anymore, but do spread the word, and we would really appreciate it. We would be honored if you would tell people about our show, and about the Dr. John Deloney Show, and about the Ken Coleman Show, and about the Rachel Cruz Show, and so on around here. So hang out with us, but also tell folks. And if there's parts of it you don't like, or you don't want to, you hate us, then don't listen, and please don't tell anybody. Anthony's in San Antonio. Hey, Anthony, what's up?
Hey, Dave. Hey, John. Pleasure to speak to you both.
You too.
So, quick background here. I'm on baby step number 2. Me and my wife are. Our household income is about $90K. Since January, we've been blessed. The Lord has given us good jobs. We've been able to pay about a third of our debt. So we've got about $24K paid off already. We've got about 40 remaining. Uh-huh. Years ago, before we realized how bad we were with money, we did have a conversation with my little sister about going to Las Vegas for her 21st birthday. Our hearts have changed completely. We're obviously trying to get out of debt, and my whole family's going to Vegas. We did the math. We're really leaning towards not going, but at the same time, it's her 21st. And it's probably going to be her last 21st birthday, or last birthday ever before she gets married. She's in a very serious relationship with a delightful young man, but we just don't know what to do. We did the math. It'll probably set us back maybe a month, not even a month, if we paid for this trip. Obviously, we're done with credit cards. We're done with all that, so we're going to cash flow it if we go. But we're really leaning towards not going.
So what's it cost to go?
Probably about $900
you
with
driving?
flights and everything. If we drive with gas prices, I did the math for that as well. It maybe save us like $30 or $50 at the most. We drive a Toyota Tacoma. I'm not sure. It seems like with the gas prices, we're spending $75 every time.
I don't think you want to go not because of money. What's the other reason you don't want to go?
I want to go, but okay. it seems like a lot with how dedicated we've been to paying off debt. It seems like a lot of money to drop to go do something that my wife and I aren't even really that pleasure. I don't know.
That's what I mean. You don't want to go.
Vegas is Vegas.
Like, you don't want to
Right.
go.
Part of it, but it's also my little sister's birthday. My whole family's going. I would feel a little bad.
How long are they going to be there?
They're if my wife and I go, we're only going for a night. They're going to be there for like Thursday through Monday in October.
$900
My wife
for
and
a
I
night?
can't. Well, we would have to probably get a hotel on the way out there as well, just because, and on the way back if we drive, because plane tickets are absurd right now. So we would have to book a hotel on the drive out there, book a hotel on the drive back, and then one hotel night in Vegas.
I think that you want to go. I think you love the idea of celebrating your sister. I don't think you want to go to Vegas. Whenever I don't want to do something, I inflate how much it's going to cost by 1.5 or 2 times. I'm like, that's going to cost $1,000, probably $500, maybe $600. When I do want to do something really big, like I need this new thing, it's like, it's probably like $100, and it's it's way more than that.
Right.
Something tells me you don't want to go.
You want to celebrate your sister, but you don't want to do the trip.
I guess that's partly true. I mean, me and my wife kind of talked about even if we went we would probably not go to the clubs and do things like that they would want to do, because obviously we're in debt. And to be completely honest with you, that's not our scene. We would love to go and see the shows and things like that, but the clubs and all that and drinking, I mean, that's not something my wife and I really partake in.
Yeah. So there,
again,
John, in that sense,
my little sister,
yeah, in that sense, John's right. The only part of this that you want to do is celebrate your sister. You don't want to do anything that they're doing, and you don't want to go. Other than just you do want to celebrate her, and that's because you're a good guy. I mean, you should want to do that. That's a good thing.
So, Dave, you can tell me when it comes to baby steps. When it comes to a milestone like this, I wouldn't have a problem. It's going to set you back 25 days on your journey. If you pay cash and go and do your thing, that didn't bother me. It also doesn't bother me if you have your set of values and say, hey, we're not going to do this thing. I hate it when somebody gets boxed into an either or. I just don't like, is there a way to do something different? But it doesn't sound like there is here.
I don't know what to tell you to do this different.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it sounds like also the rest of the family is going to be like the weirdos are back at home, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that too. And then I know in my parents, I know that if I say, hey, me and Clarissa aren't going, that's my wife saying, we're not going due to we're doing this Dave Ramsey thing. We're trying to get out of debt.
Don't blame it on me.
Yeah, this is a you choice, brother. This one's on you.
Knowing my parents, they'll just offer to pay for it.
So,
I know, and I don't want that either.
Anthony, here's the thing. If I'm you, I would go. That's me.
Okay.
And Dave, you may say differently. I would probably go, and I like you. I don't go to the clubs. I'm just not. That's just not my thing. I wouldn't do that. And I'm a nerd. I go to bed early, and but we'd go and celebrate and have the dinner and say it's great, and then we'd head out early. 5 nights in Vegas, that's a lot.
Yeah.
The other side of it is, don't blame anybody if you decide to not go because of your values. Say we're not really interested in going to there. We'll celebrate when she gets back. We'll have everybody over for dinner.
We're in the middle of this thing and we're getting out of debt, and right now we just can't do it. We're just sorry, and it's okay to say either one, and it's okay to cheap out on a couple of other things and get the $900 down to $500. With your hotel choice or whatever else, and it's also okay if your parents want to pay for it. If you want to go, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that at all. I'm thinking of a parent. If one of my kids was working on something and they're saying, hey, we don't want to go because we want to hit this goal. I'm like, well, if you would like to go, we really want to have you. We're not going to guilt you, and I'll cover it for you if you want to come, because we really want you there that bad. And that wouldn't bother me as a parent a little bit.
Yeah.
And so, and I would hope my child could accept that. But if that, but if they say no, we just don't, then I gotta respect their boundaries and go, no, they don't want to come. Okay, so that's okay. And so, I've been in lots of situations like this over the years with family. I remember Sharon's family kept we kept having more and more grandkids on that side. And so buying gifts for every stinking person got to be the federal deficit. And the year we went broke, I just rolled into Sharon's parents' house, and Sharon wasn't even happy with me. But I'm like, hey, we can't do this. We don't have any money. We can draw names.
Yes.
We'll buy for kids that are under 5, and we're drawing names for the rest of you goobs. And one of the other sisters goes, well, finally, somebody said it. Let's do it.
That's right.
But everybody's all worried that Dave was about to break the thing that the family tradition was about. Oh, it's all going to go down in flames because of Dave. But it turned out okay. And now they draw names for 20, 30 years now, So this is the Ramsey Show. Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today in the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage. Andrew and Courtney are with us. Hey, guys, how are you?
Hey, doing good. How are you?
Welcome. Where do you guys live?
We're from Madisonville, Kentucky.
Ah, okay, up in the Hopkinsville area. Mm-hmm. Welcome to Nashville, and here to do a debt-free scream. How much have you paid off?
$62,447.16.
I love it.
Not that we're counting to the penny.
How long did it take you?
22 and a half months.
Good for you. And your range of income during that time?
From about 85 down a little bit and then back up to about 95.
Cool. What do y'all do for a living?
I'm in manufacturing. I work for GE.
Mm-hmm.
I started out working for the orthodontist in our town, and then I switched to the Board of Education.
Ah, okay. And was that a good raise?
It was not.
Okay.
It took a lot of prayer and talk. We did a pros and cons list, and it was a pay decrease, but we adjusted our
That was when it went down a little bit.
Yes.
And then it came back up.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Good for you guys. What kind of debt was the $62,000?
It's mostly is a few credit cards, couple personal loans, couple 401k loans.
Okay. All right. What were the 401k loans for? What'd you buy?
A lot of our debt stemmed from a gambling addiction I had. So that's that's what a lot of it was.
Wow.
And,
wow.
Yeah.
So what were you gambling? What kind of game?
Just any kind of sports online.
Sports book.
Yeah.
Okay. Online stuff.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
What'd the healing journey look like on the way out of that?
Yeah. How'd you break that?
Well, we had hit a pretty rough patch in our marriage. We had some disagreements, some arguments, and when we got married, we joined our finances together. And when I realized the first couple of consolidated loans that hit our bank account, I was not comfortable, so I withdrew
That's an understatement.
You were the queen of understatement. We had a rough patch.
I was not comfortable.
I almost killed him while he was asleep.
Withdrew a little bit. We had a disagreement.
There were some nights I looked at him and was just like, ooh. So I took the high road, and I took my money out of the bank account and opened my own bank account, opened up the kids' bank account, and I still continue to see no change. I was still uncomfortable with where things were going, and so I reached out to my sister-in-law, and we
His
talked.
sister?
Yes, his brother's wife.
Oh, okay. All
and we finally opened up to his parents. His parents had no idea what was going on. We both kept it very hidden because we were a little ashamed.
Sure.
And so we basically had a little intervention for him. And I just let out everything that I was worried about, and they were kind of our go-betweens. And so they really, from the second that they knew everything, they were our support system, and they were our guides. And
how long ago was that?
March 21st, 2020.
So that's your
dry date?
2 years sober?
Yes.
Way to go, brother.
Hey,
way to go.
Congratulations, man.
Proud of you.
Thank you.
That's
I'm proud of him too.
It's incredible. I wish you could see the way she's looking at you.
Yeah.
It's so oogie, it's making me uncomfortable. She likes you a lot. It's incredible.
So so your family and your wife come at you, and you just said, okay, they're right.
Yep.
I mean,
time to change. Yeah.
Prior to that, you've been kind of ducking and shucking and jiving and hiding, and am I right? That's a normal pattern anyway.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So, for America, in case you didn't know, the fastest growing addiction in America today is online porn. The second fastest growing addiction in America today is online gambling.
It's tough.
And those two things are destroying more families than all drug addiction and alcohol addiction put together. And the people don't understand the numbers. Yeah. This is one of the evils of the internet. The internet's not evil in and of itself, but gambling has exploded. And I can't tell you the number of times one of our coaches is dealing with someone who's trying to get out of debt on one hand, but on the other hand, they're really struggling, particularly sportsbook. Sportsbook is a big one. And so what you had there was not unusual. I'm so proud of you, man. That took a lot of strength.
So, Andrew, often people roll out of an addiction, and I don't want to say they trade addictions, but they lean into healthier behaviors. And it sounds like your healthier behavior was, hey, let's get on a path to help us get control back, right? And so tell us about that.
Yeah, that night, I mean, like she said, we all met and had a long talk. And that night, I worked third shift at the time, and I was, scrolling through the internet and came across Dave Ramsey. And I'd heard the name before, but had never really listened or anything. And I started listening that night and got hooked. And like everything you were saying was, slapping me.
Usually
in the
when
face.
people say you got hooked, it's a good thing. I'm not sure when you say that. I like you say
But that was his healthy.
I'm kidding with you.
He did. He came home from work, and I was barely awake, and he said, "Babe, we're going to do this. This is what we're doing." And I was like,
"Wow,
who?
What?
Yeah. What?
I'm asleep here."
I was like, "Okay, we're okay. Sounds good."
So you were game on then.
Oh yeah.
And that gave you something to focus on while you were moving the other stuff. Now, did you go to like GA?
No, I did not.
Okay. Did you see a coach, a counselor, or anything?
Nope.
No, just said, I'm stopping.
Yeah.
Just
Well, it
like
made
that.
it a little easier. That was the start of the pandemic, and there were no sports going on. So
that's helpful. That's helpful. The supply dried up. Yeah.
Made it a little easier.
Well, there you go. That's true. I hadn't thought about that. So then you guys just lean in, and together you start doing the details. Now, how much further did you get plugged into our stuff?
I after a couple of weeks of listening to the podcast, just nonstop, I bought a couple of the books, and I guess it was a few months later we did a FPU class with our church.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah. It took me a little while to get her on board with me.
I can't believe what.
Yeah, the addict comes with another scheme, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I got a plan, right?
Yeah, it was read this book, listen to this podcast, watch this on YouTube, and I was like, oh gosh.
Well, I
what did I do?
Yeah.
I got her listening to Rachel. I was like, if you don't want to listen to Dave, I think you'll like Rachel. She's your age and she's funny. I think you'll like her.
Instead of old and grumpy, right?
Yeah, it's not funny. Yeah, we've got young, cute, and funny, or old and grumpy.
Hey, so Andrew.
Yes.
You're not gambling anymore?
No.
Totally clean?
Yes.
When you're talking about it, your body folds up with shame and guilt. And today you walk off that stage and you're going to leave that crap right there, right?
Yes, sir.
You're done with it?
Yes, sir.
You're announcing to everybody your sobriety, and we're proud of you.
Amen.
But I don't want you carrying that stuff around. I can see it on you.
Amen.
Today you set it down when you walk off that stage.
You're not
right?
that guy used to be. He's not anymore.
Game?
Yep. Thank you. Yes.
That's fair.
All right. Thank
Way
you.
to go, guys.
Thank you, guys.
I'm so proud of y'all. We are honored to be a little part of your huge journey. You're both very, very courageous people, and you're impressive. You're heroes. I mean, the stuff when you stare that demon down and you beat it, that's a big one.
And honey, I don't know where they make you. I don't know. You're one of a million. You're a saint. You're incredible.
Except for the understatement part.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, she can carry a house around with understatement. Well, I guess I'll just won't eat any dinner tonight. I guess I'll just go inside and eat dirt.
I'll just wear the drapes.
While y'all eat
Thank you,
pizza.
Scarlett O'Hara.
That's right. No, you're. Yeah.
I mean, I had my weaknesses too, and mine stemmed a lot from wanting my kids to have what I didn't have growing up. So I'm not guilt-free from getting a credit card and saying, hey, you want to wear that name brand outfit? Okay. You want to go to this place? Okay, let's do it. So we really had to sit down, especially with our oldest, and explain, you know, it's not that we won't ever do this.
I'm going to cut you off because we're going to run up against the clock here. I want to make sure we get your scream in.
Sorry.
So we got all the books and everything for you and stuff for you to give away and stuff for you to enjoy. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Andrew and Courtney, Hopkinsville, Kentucky, Madisonville, Kentucky, $62,000 paid off in 22 months, making 85 to 95. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1.
We're debt-free! Those are two special people.
They're two free people.
Very people. Free people.
Free people.
Amen.
Free.
In Jesus' name. This is the Ramsey Show. Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today as we talk about your life and your money. Lindsay is with us in Las Vegas. Hi, Lindsay. How are you?
How are you doing, Dave? I'm doing good.
Good. What's up?
I just got a quick question for you, maybe some advice for me if you have it. I currently own my house outright. I don't own anything on it. My dad and my grandpa helped me purchase it, I want to say in like 2013. I currently don't have anything saved up, and I do need to make like some repairs. It's to that point where I had about $2,000 in savings, which I tried to spend to fix the roof to get the insurance back on it. So it's kind of like now the insurance has rejected me for the roof. That didn't work. They still rejected it. And I have about maybe $20,000 is what they quoted me to fix some of the plumbing. It's an older house, like 1963. I'm thinking about selling it, and I kind of want to go back to school because I'm only making about $25,000 a year. I want to go back to school for stenography, which is like a 2-year course. And I'm thinking about maybe getting, I don't know, something else to live in or maybe rent during that time frame.
How old are you?
I wanted to pick your brain. 33.
Okay. Why are you going to stenography?
I kind of have a passion for it, and I wanted to get a better career going. I'm kind of just doing whatever for right now that, you know.
I do agree you need a new career. I'm not arguing with that. I'm just wondering how you pick stenography.
Like medical field has always been a passion of mine. I dipped my toes in the nursing for a little while, and I didn't really find that too interesting, but one of my friends had gone to stenography, and I kind of found it really fascinating and kind of had an interest in it.
Mm-hmm. What will your house sell for? What will your house sell for as is without doing the repairs?
$320,000.
Good.
I got a cash offer for it.
Good Lord.
My concern with the stenography is, again, this may be 2 years out, this may be 5 years out. I'd hate for you to do a 2-year program. They're getting so sophisticated with the voice-to-text software programs.
You may become obsolete.
It feels like one of those fields that in 5 years is going to be really obsolete. I may be incorrect there, but man, that seems like a large financial and time commitment on something that may just evaporate underneath you.
Okay, let me put 3 or 4 let me put 3 or 4 facts on the table. Okay.
Okay.
Fact number 1. You have a house that needs a bunch of repairs that you can sell for $300,000. Fact number 2, you make $25,000 a year. You have a career that's a non-starter. You need a new career. You need a path that is long-term. Fact number 3, you're probably going to have to do some kind of training for some kind of new career. Fact number 4, John and I are calling a question mark on stenography. I want you to explore your career options further before you make that part of the decision. All those sound like facts?
Definitely.
Okay, so I would agree. You need a new career. I would agree to sell the house, go rent something, and execute some kind of a training program to move into the new career. If I can beg you to find 5 other things to seriously consider in addition to stenography, because I think you picked stenography without a lot of thought.
Okay.
I'm accusing you of that. Okay.
All right.
Okay. So now, what I want to do is I want to help you on the career side, because you got one shot at this. If we sell the house and we move into a rental, and you take off down some bogus road on the career, then we had one bullet in the gun, we already shot it, and the deer got away, right? You follow me?
I totally agree. It has to be something that I'm definitely going to follow through with, and it's definitely going to be.
Well, it needs to make you $300,000.
Yeah.
Okay, because you got $300,000 there that we're betting on this. We're not going to spend all the $300,000 on it, but
No,
it needs to. You need to not make 25 anymore. When we're done with this, you need to make 100.
Okay.
That's what I want for you.
And Lindsay, I just heard it in your voice. You don't even think you're worth making 100, and you got 2 people telling you are. You never even thought that.
Well, you may not be, as a person, you're worth it, but your skills may not be there yet. But I think you're trainable into some skill set that'll get you there.
Definitely. I totally agree.
Yeah. All right. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to send you a copy of Ken Coleman's book, From Paycheck to Purpose, and we're also going to sign you up to take the career assessment. Now, he has a 7-step process for figuring out about the career. The first step is to become clear on what it is what it is you're going to do, the third step. But the first 2 steps are getting to know yourself and really guiding into that. So I want you to pick a career that has a huge upside, and that is something that, as you start talking about it, it makes you smile. Your heart starts beating when you start talking about it, and that pays really good.
Definitely.
Okay, but I don't want you to get something that pays really good that you hate, and I don't want you to get something that you think you love that sucks on the pay. Because you should make a lot of money at something you love. Anytime you can do that in life, you have really got it dialed in, and that's what I want for you. So you hang on. Kelly will pick up. We're going to get you the career assessment by Ken Coleman. I want you to jump on kencoleman.com and start reading everything on his website about finding and getting the right kind of job. What is the training necessary? Once you identify what it is, then you back up and you start identifying what the training is, and we've got $300,000 to do that with, and we're not trying to fix up a house for $20,000 and $40,000 and $60,000 worth of repairs on a $25,000 income, which just sounds exhausting.
And Lindsay, whatever you do, when you sell this house, you're going to have a $300,000 check deposit in your checking account.
Don't touch it.
No cars, no shopping sprees, no running down to the strip.
No
none
vacations.
Of that. That's not what that money is for. That stuff it will go away like sands through an hourglass. Don't spend it.
It'll go up like flash paper. You'll look up now, in a year it's gone. So you can only spend it on 2 things: bare bones necessities, food, shelter, clothing, and education to accomplish your career goal. That's the only 2 things you're allowed to spend it on. Don't you touch it, except that. I'll come smack you. Don't you touch it. Because this is your shot, girl. We want that for you, all right? That's it. Don't you touch it. All right, I'm kidding with you, but seriously, kiddo, this is dangerous what we're playing with here, and John's right. It can get away from you. So you hang on, and Kelly will pick up, and we'll get you signed up for all of Ken's stuff, and start listening to Ken Coleman Show. Call Ken and talk to him. He'll help you with this. Or call in when he's on this show one time. He'll help you. It's what he does. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Earl Nightingale used to say 1,000 years ago in that old talk that I often reference, it's the first million-selling talk ever done on audio.
Yeah.
The Strangest Secret. He used to say that. No, it's not in The Strangest Secret. It's in another talk he did, where he said what you can conceive and believe you can achieve. But in that talk, he says, people spend more time picking out a suit of clothes than they do their future career.
Isn't that wild?
They spend time obsessing for days on the internet, picking out something, getting the right shirt, getting the right thing. There wasn't an internet then, but I mean today that's what they do, rather than sitting and really looking inward, The unexamined life is not worth living, Socrates said, looking inward and figuring out what it is I'm made to do under Ken Coleman lingo, right? And what is it I've got talent at, and then going and getting the training to accentuate that and moving into a career field that every Monday morning you're smiling.
Yeah, that's right. It's same with picking a spouse. We'll spend 4 years dating or 2 years dating, and we'll spend like, well, Dad was this, I guess I'll just try that. Yeah. Or I got this job in college, I guess I'm going to stay here.
I was at the bar drinking beer, and they said they're hiring down there.
That's right. I went on down.
38 years later, I'm still there.
That's right.
You know? Yeah. Oh, my God, this is not how you pick what you're going to do with your life.
Yep.
You know? It's, you know, your friend who is a dead-end doob, you're going to be just exactly like him if you go to work at the same place doing the same stuff he's doing. You know? Oh, my gosh, don't do this, people. And Lindsay's not going to. We're going to make sure of it. This is the Ramsey Show.
Hey, it's John Deloney, co-host of The Ramsey Show. Did you know over 18 million people listen to The Ramsey Show every week? A lot of those people listen on one of our 600-plus radio stations across the country. To find a station near you, go to RamseySolutions.com/show.
This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. This is The Ramsey Show, where we help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey personality, host of the Dr. John Deloney Show, and author of the #1 best-selling book, Own Your Past, Change Your Future, is my co-host today. Thank you for joining us at 888-825-5225. Josh is with us. Josh is in Charlotte, North Carolina. Hey, Josh, how are you?
Hey, Dave. Hey, John. How are you guys doing?
Better than we deserve, sir. What's up?
So I think I know what your answer is going to be, Dave, longtime listener, but I wanted to hear it from your voice. My wife and I have talked about, I just want a verification. We have talked about with the current state of the stock market, we're both investing, we're debt-free, we're investing 15+% in our retirement. We've talked about potentially pausing our retirement in order to pay off our house in about 3 years.
Mm-hmm. What's your household income?
Wanted to see, we make about $120.
Okay. And what's the balance on your home?
About 75.
Okay.
So I know, Dave, you would say we could pause other things and keep the retirement and keep it going, but we have been through the gazelle phase. You
said you would pay it off in you said you'd pay it off in 3 years?
Yeah, we could pay it off in about 3 years.
Okay. 3 years of 15% of your income is only $45,000. Where's the rest of it coming from?
Sorry, I'm not sure I'm following what you're saying.
Okay, $17,000 is 15% of 120. 17 times 3 is $46,000, $47,000. Okay? So that's not $75,000. So you've already are paying extra on your mortgage.
Yeah, we were already paying extra on our mortgage.
So you're paying about $10,000, $15,000 extra on your mortgage now.
Yes.
Okay. And you said 15+%. Why plus?
Just to chunk a little bit of extra money in there.
Okay. So if you backed it down to actually 15, we would increase it a little bit, right?
A little bit, yes.
Okay. All right. And so the difference is if we do this is 3 years, or if we only put $20,000 towards it, it's 5 years.
Thereabouts, yes.
Yeah. So we have a 3-year or a 5-year equation. So the difference, the discussion is 2 years difference.
Yep.
The stock market's on sale right now. The last thing I'm going to do is quit putting money into it.
Yeah, I was going to ask, and I'm asking, Josh, I'm asking Dave this question. I'm hearing now, if you've got money to put in, now's the time.
Yeah.
Because all the stocks are at discount.
I don't try to time the market.
Exactly.
But it is always exciting to me when the market drops.
Right.
Because I'm not taking my money out. I'm only putting more in, and I'm getting a bargain.
That's right.
It's on sale. You know, when we were kids, the blue light would come on at Kmart, and they would have a sale, blue light sale, and there's a blue light sale on the stock market right now. And so that's there's not any Kmart, and there's not any blue lights anymore. I know. Okay, don't send me more dadgum tweets about being a boomer. Okay,
I'm with you.
But I get it. But the point is, it's on sale. Whatever it is you want to. Flash sale on Amazon, whatever you want to compare it to. Ramsey $10 sale, I don't know, whatever it is. But yeah, you're right, Josh. You did know what I was going to say. I'm not going to pause your retirement for 2 years of gain. Because the other thing that we haven't used in this equation is we have not added into this equation all the wonderful financial things that are going to happen to you in addition to your $120,000 worth of income during this 5 years that turn the 5 years into 4 or 3. A bonus, an unexpected small inheritance, a windfall here or there of some kind. Oh, by the way, your income's probably going to go up during this 5 years.
A side hustle.
And we've not done any of that.
Yeah.
We've not mentioned any of that here, and all of that's going to turn the 5 years into 4 into 3. My prediction is that if you keep putting no more than 15%, not plus, and you look at your budget and you don't go gazelle intense, I'm not suggesting you cut out a bunch of other things. If you keep doing what you're doing, add a little bit here that used to be there. Just take a little fluff off the sides, not any hard cuts. Just tighten it up, pay attention, make sure you're doing a written budget, because sometimes people get sloppy here at 4 through 7. They kind of relax on the budget a little bit. Actually be doing the budget every single month, and do be enjoying. You're intentional, you're not intense. But my prediction is still between 3 and 4 years your house is going to be paid for. That's what I think is going to happen. Because I think there's some things coming your way, because it usually does follow that God blesses people who are being trustworthy stewards.
Intentional. So can you give a quick primer? I hear that it's on sale. What does that actually mean?
Well, okay, the market is down in the last 5 years. If you pull up the charts today, the market's down 5.82% in 12 months. Okay, so let's say it goes down 10%. And if you put in $100,000 and it goes back up to where it was, on its way north, when it goes back up just to where it was, on its way north, then you will have made an extra $10,000 or $20,000.
So if I'm buying, and this is simple. I'm trying to smooth it out for me. If I've been buying Apple stock at $1 and it goes down 10%,
you can buy it for 90.
I'm buying it for 90 cents.
Yeah.
And then when it goes back to $1 or $1.05,
yeah. No,
I bought the same stock.
Exactly.
There you go. Okay.
You would have paid $1 for it. You got it on sale for 90.
Right.
And you'd have been happy at $1.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, and that's true of a good mutual fund. You have that same. I'd have been happy at 36,000 Dow. I'm happy at a 34,000, 31,000, 32,000 Dow to jump in, and because I'm not getting out.
Right.
I'm riding it long term.
But not getting out, and I'm continuing to put monies in the slot machine. Yeah. Not slot machine, that's a bad analogy. Yeah. I'm continuing to put money in.
Yeah, you're chunking money and you're dropping the quarters in. Yeah. So Warren Buffett and a bunch of other people had things to say when the market dove in 2008, and it went from 13,000 and went in half down to 6,300. 50% drop.
Yeah.
And they said, well, Mr. Buffett, you've lost this much money on Berkshire Hathaway stock. You know, you've lost whatever it was, $500 million. And he said, I haven't lost anything. I haven't sold anything.
I haven't sold anything. That's right.
If I sell it, I've locked in the losses. But right now, the value is down, but I haven't sold it. If you own a house and the house goes down in value, you don't lose money on the house until you sell it.
Right.
Now, if you wait on it to come back up, then you didn't lose money on the house.
Right.
And that's what's going on with the stock market. So,
and hey, that works in reverse. I've got buddies who are like, man, I made $1 million on my house, and my thought is, you haven't made anything.
You haven't sold it yet.
That's right. You haven't made any money. So don't start spending that money that you think you've made.
You haven't made anything.
That's right.
Your equity has increased. Your net worth has increased, but you haven't made anything.
That's right.
Yeah, you have to turn it into real money, and then you made some money. Yeah, I made a lot of money on Bitcoin, then I lost a lot of money on Bitcoin. You didn't really do either one. You just watched it go up and down.
That's right.
This is The Ramsey Show. If you're looking for ways to update your home without blowing the budget, I've got it. For years, I've been telling you about our friends at Blinds.com. Blinds.com makes it simple to shop top quality blinds, shades, and interior shutters from home with easy online ordering and free shipping. With Blinds.com, there's no need to renovate your entire home. Just change out what's on your windows with upscale choices like faux wood blinds, cellular, and roller shades, or even outdoor shades. Plus, Blinds.com guarantees the perfect fit, whether you do it yourself or you have them measure and install everything for you. Shop their latest looks and see how much you can save at Blinds.com today. The easy and affordable way to make your home more beautiful is Blinds.com. Well, it's one of the best times of the year here at Ramsey. We're giving away up to $3,000 during our Ramsey Cash giveaway, and we're discounting our best-selling books for only $10, to only $10. That's a 67% discount. And why do we do this? Because we want to make it as easy as possible for you to crush your goals. Okay, John, what's the last thing you bought for $10?
Me and Blake Thompson and Pete Young went out to a concert the other night, and I got a hot dog kind of thing, and it was so basically I bought indigestion for $10 is what I got. Can you think of a thing? No, that you can buy. No, I mean an item, not food.
An item. Because I mean you can get a cup of coffee for under $10.
Yeah,
a hot dog for $10, but I can't think of an item hardly that. I mean, a pack of gum.
Yeah.
That again, that's something you ingest, I guess. But I don't know what items you buy today.
I'm trying to think of things I've bought in the last few months, like a pair of pants and a pair of shoes and some bullets and some,
bullets each were less than $10.
Nothing is $10. Yeah.
Each single bullet is less than $10.
Barely.
But not much.
Barely.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's you can't get anything for $10, man.
Yeah. Doesn't get you much anymore, but you get a lot here. $22 you can go to the movies. $15 you can get a pizza, maybe. You could get about 2.5 gallons of gas. That's not drive around the block, yeah. And or you could get the Total Money Makeover for $10 and learn how to handle a lot more than $10. Or you could get Questions for Humans, conversation cards, and spend hours of laughing and having real conversations with your kids, your spouse, your friends by Dr. John Deloney. Only $10. Your copy of the Total Money Makeover for $10 could save you thousands of dollars, could put you on the path to being a millionaire. Check out the Ramsey $10 sale. Don't forget to enter the Ramsey Cash giveaway. Joseph is in Dallas. Hi, Joseph. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave and John. I really appreciate all the great work you both do.
Thanks. How can we help?
So I am currently on the baby step 3B, meaning that I'm saving for a house. I am looking to relocate, though, from Dallas. It's not treating me well, but I'd like to relocate to another state, namely Cleveland, Ohio, to be closer to the family that I have there. I've been attempting to relocate now for about a year, a little over a year, and I'll be frank, I'm not getting any traction. I'm not making any progress. I've started reaching out to a lot of people that are in my field. I've applied to companies, and I'm just not getting anything back. So I'm starting to feel discouraged by it, and I just wanted to call you, both for some guidance, encouragement, a plan, so that I don't just pick up and move, because we always know that if you don't have something solid lined up, it's
bad idea,
not a smart move.
Yeah. What's your field?
I manage lead teams on political campaigns, and I actually really enjoy the work that I do.
Okay. So your jobs are usually they move from candidate to candidate, I assume.
Yeah, correct. Either based upon the candidate, or they're based upon policies, sometimes associations.
But usually it's usually somebody around that gets you the next gig. And the trick is you just don't know anybody in that. Are you doing state level races or local races?
Yeah, mostly my races have taken me all over. Actually, it's unfortunate that I have not been able to really connect with. I've tried to connect with people in the Ohio area, and I've gotten conversations, but no callbacks.
But you're doing state level stuff.
Correct. Yeah, it's mostly correct. It's mostly for congressional so sometimes Senate people, sometimes congressional people. And it's mostly been within the Texas area, correct?
Okay, so U.S. Senate, U.S. Congress, not Texas.
Oh, those two. Like, yeah, right now I'm on a campaign for a local congressional race, and sometimes I'll be on for, like, say, a mayor's race, and so forth.
Joseph, here, and Dave, hop in here. Here's my thoughts on this, and I'm going to use your particular situation to extrapolate a larger issue that I'm hearing over and over and over. I am a teacher, and I live in X town, and the houses in X town have tripled in value, and I can't buy a house. I want to be by my family, and I do this particular career, and I love it, but I do it in another state, and I want to get into this market. And so what I'm feeling is a tension between three things. The life I want to live, this picture I have of my life. In your case, I want to make X by my family. The second tension is geography, and the third tension is income. And so I'm just going to roll back to when I was a high school teacher. I was a basketball coach and a track coach. Dude, I loved that job. It was so great. And it was down the street from where I grew up, which wasn't great. And they handed me a worksheet that said, in 42 years, here's what your income will be. And I said, I don't want to do that life. Right? So one of the variables had to shift. And so I ended up transitioning out of a job that I loved, that I think I would have been good at, because of one of those variables. And so for me, if you're saying, I've been trying this for a year, trying to get into this thing, you can continue to try to make contacts. But the question you got to ask yourself is, you said, you want me and Dave to tell you something so you don't pack up and move? That's not how life works, brother. Right. You're just going to have to decide to be a grown-up and not do something dumb, right? There's nothing we're going to tell you to not do something dumb. What I want you to say is, how badly do you want to be by family? Is it enough to do a different career or job for a while? If it's not, great, man. Then let yourself off the hook there. But you're trying to force a round peg into a square hole,
what do you
it
make?
feels like.
On average, between 55 to 60.
Okay. All right. Well, let me ask you this. The bad news is, or the good news is that's not an income that's that hard to replace in other fields.
Right.
So you probably could land something if you want to move home and be with family in a different field, with the goal of beginning to, kind of working your way up from the bottom in the political world and getting back in 5 years to where you are, but in the Ohio market. That's a possibility. And use Ken Coleman's proximity principle with that in mind. But yeah, that's I think you could probably you know how to lead teams and drive projects and campaigns. You can drive campaigns for anything. You don't have to drive them for candidates.
You can deal with a politician leading. You can work for anybody, right?
Yeah, this is high stress, high urgency, deadline driven stuff, and you're a team project manager, and that. A lot of those actually make a lot more than $55,000. So you probably could do that in corporate America and get a level of enjoyment and a good income, be near family. Meanwhile, nights and weekends, you start making the contacts and you go work the volunteer stuff and you do whatever you got to do to get your foot in the door with that group up there, and continue to use some of your old contacts to get your foot in the door, and so on. So yeah, that's probably what I'm going to do is what John said, try to change one of the variables in order to make this happen. Or you just say, I'm probably not going to be able to do it in a way in Cleveland that I'm going to be happy with, and so I'm not going to Cleveland.
Yeah. It's finding your peace among those variables of income and geography and the job that you want to have, right? That life you want to have.
Yeah, those three things.
It's hard.
Which one's it going to be? So, good question. Open phones at 888-825-5225. There's a lot of interesting stuff in history, by the way, and we're seeing it happen right now again, of people doing just what we're talking about. Dust Bowl during the 30s. The Detroit factories opened up for cars. Mass production was going. And the people that were cotton farmers that were making absolutely nothing in West by God, Arkansas, got in a car and went to Detroit.
I've had thoughts about the potato farmer in Ireland that said, I don't know what's 4 weeks away by boat, but it's better than this.
It's better than me starving to death.
I'm getting the car and we're
This is the third time in 7-year cycles in 21 years that I've had a potato famine. 3 in a row, by the way.
Right. I'm out.
The
I'm
1700s.
going to try something else.
And so we end up with
Can you imagine that?
Scots and Scots-Irish all over Philly.
Man.
They're coming up before there was a New York City. They're landing there in the 1700s and filled up this place. And so that's a diaspora. We're seeing it now driven by politics. Yeah. We saw it after Katrina. We have Cajun restaurants all over America.
Houston, man. Houston.
Because they left New Orleans never to return after Katrina. They're leaving California because of whatever, never to return. They're leaving New York right now, never to return. COVID draconian mandates and crazy politics, and they're out of there.
That's right.
Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Thanks for hanging out with us, America. In the lobby of Ramsey Solutions, which you are more than welcome to visit anytime. We have a visitor center, and on any given day, we have 50 to 200 folks watching the show live. We broadcast it live every day from 1 to 4 Central Time. There's a visitor center with free cookies, and, they're good. And, of course, great coffee. Everything's on us. We want you to come by, hang out, see the whole history of this place, and get plugged in. On the debt-free stage, Nick and Rose are with us. Hey, guys, how are you?
Good.
Welcome. Where do you guys live?
Blaine, Minnesota.
Okay, which is near Minneapolis.
Yep. Correct.
Okay, cool. Welcome to Nashville. And how much debt have you paid off?
$188,700.
Golly, y'all weren't messing around.
$180,000 or 88?
$188,700.
Okay, all right, cool. And how long did this take you?
50 months.
All right, good. And your range of income during that time?
$180,000 to $222,000.
Good for you. What do you guys do for a living?
I'm a master electrician by trade. I do instrumentation and control work.
Oh, very good.
I'm a police officer.
Good for you. Awesomeness. Well, thank you guys. Very cool. Proud of you. That's a lot of debt in 50 months. Am I guessing right? You pay off your house?
Yep.
Look at them weird people!
Hey, look, we got the police officer to smile just a little bit. It was hard. No, we did it.
What's this house worth?
The county says it's $480,000.
Yeah, what do you think it's really worth, though? County's not right.
I don't know.
It's worth over $500. Easy. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, and how much you guys got in your retirement funds?
$700,000.
I'm looking at millionaires.
Yep.
One of you's a policeman, and the other one's a master electrician that does instrumentation. How old are you two?
43.
Almost 42.
And you're millionaires. Baby steps millionaires. I'm so proud of y'all.
Wow, that's so cool, man.
It's everywhere, baby. It's
so
everywhere. Cool. I love it. Way to go, you guys. All right, tell us a story. What happened 5 years ago that got this whole thing going?
Well, I was a few years back. I was driving home from my cousin's house. Just got done wiring his garage, and I was listening to this radio show. I didn't know what it really was. And then about a year later, my buddy's like, hey, check out this guy. And so he puts you on. And I'm like, that's the guy I heard coming back from my cousin's house. And started listening to you. I think I listened to you for about 2 years before we finally started the plan. And I talked to the wife, and I think you were a swear word in the house for a little bit. But she quickly came on board, and I calculated it all out. I'm like, okay, we can get our consumer debt. So we had 2 car loans. Could get that paid off in a year, and it's going to take the house 5 years. So it was a 6-year plan, and we ended up doing it in 50 months, so just over 4 years.
Over 4 years, yeah.
Yep, and it was weird because as we were doing the plan, you just end up finding extra money. You know, once you start becoming intentional, it's amazing on how you find where it comes from. I don't know. It was weird.
Yeah. Okay. So Rose, what's your part of the story? How did he wore you out for a little while? Sounds like.
I always just felt like we were pretty intentional with our money to begin with. Neither one of us were ever people who just randomly went out and bought things that we didn't need. It was always just if we needed it. Rarely bought anything that we didn't. So it felt like we weren't really making any changes, but I guess now looking back, like I am excited to be able to get new kitchen cabinets.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Yeah.
But
yeah, now that you're there, huh?
Yep.
So that's the first big purchase now. Good.
One of them. Yep. Something that we're
you
talking
need to
around.
do something to celebrate. I mean, you're millionaires and you're debt-free 100%. How's it feel to not have a payment in the world?
Awesome.
Yeah.
What do you tell people the key to getting out of debt is?
I would say just stay on track. Budget, that makes a big difference. Knowing where your money goes. And just,
need versus want.
Sticking with it. Yeah.
You guys are 2 pretty matter-of-fact people. I mean, there's just no BS in your house.
Hey, hold on, though. I got to ask this. You've been working on this for 50 months. Being an officer in Minneapolis the last few years, Minneapolis has been hell.
Yeah.
Your world came to a screeching halt 24 months ago, being an electrician, and when they said you can't work. And y'all kept plowing through this. How did y'all do that? Because y'all would have had to lean on each other in a way that is uncharacteristic for most. Most of us wouldn't have been able to. We would have said pause because the world's on fire, literally. Y'all kept going. How'd you do that?
Just one foot in front of the other, work. I was lucky. The industry that I'm in, we had to keep showing up every day. So, and then just being support for her because it was a difficult time.
Yeah.
Y'all 2 remind me of Lake Wobegon characters, like just gonna get up and just go one step after the other, man. It's fantastic. Y'all are Midwest at its finest. It's wonderful, man. Love it.
Good stuff.
Incredible to you 2.
So did you tell other people who were your biggest cheerleaders?
My buddy Mike.
The one that told you to turn it on?
Yep.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, and then a guy at work, Jim. I got him listening to the show, and we could have some conversations. It's kind of difficult too to talk to people about finances and then your plan because it's abnormal, right?
Well, and because you're winning too. Yeah, and people don't want to talk about it. Who'd you bring with you over here?
Our neighbors.
Okay. All right. Cool.
They've been hearing about you guys for quite a few years.
Yep.
All right. So they came to the trip to Nashville to tag along and cheer you on today.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, congratulations, you guys.
Thank you.
Very, very, very proud of you. It's very cool. I can sense why you did this. Your steadiness. You're just very predictable, very steady, and you don't quit. And it gets tough. You just bear down, keep going, and that's what you were doing in your careers. That's what you did through the pandemic, through all the stuff you've been through as a police officer, everything else. And congratulations, you're very strong people.
Thank you.
And we all promised to go have some fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
That's why we're here.
We just got here this morning, so now we got the rest of the couple days.
All right. Well, enjoy Nashville. There's plenty here to enjoy. That's awesomeness. And hit downtown Franklin right up the road. It's a lot of fun. So we got a copy of Baby Steps Millionaires for you because you should have been in there. It's your book. Next chapter in your story. It is the chapter in your story. We're also going to give you a 1-year subscription to Ramsey Plus, which gets you into every dollar and a financial piece. You probably have been through it or may want to go through it again, or maybe you want to give that to somebody. Maybe somebody's just getting started started on this. Same thing with the book Total Money Makeover. We're going to give you all of that to say congratulations. We're so very proud of you. Nick and Rose, Minneapolis, Minnesota, $189,000 paid off. They're baby steps millionaires in their early 40s. Did that in 50 months, making 180 to 122. Oh, and there was a pandemic. Oh, and a few other things going on up there. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1. We're debt-free.
Yeah! That is fun. I love it. That is great stuff. Very, very well done.
I mean, that's mental health 101, Dave. Well, I just put one foot in front of the other and kept going, man.
I just got other stuff to do here, and oh yeah, she's having a hard time. I guess I'll be there for her.
I guess I'll be there for her, and I'm just going to keep moving forward. We made a goal, and we're going to make it happen.
Yeah, he's not working, but I'll do something else. I'll work something else, and it'll be okay. And you just kind of
just going to keep going.
Keep going, and there's just no drama. There's no drama. Drama is not allowed. You know, we got to get the tortoise doesn't have drama.
This is going to shock you, Dave, but I'm the exact opposite.
Well, me too. That's why we end up teaching this stuff, because God wants to keep us both on track.
They were married to stable people.
Well, that's true. That's true, and that's helpful as well.
Well, I'm so excited.
Good news there. I mean, they went through a lot of really hard stuff.
Tough season.
We don't laugh at it. I mean, it's very real.
Tough season.
And still paid off their stinking house, man.
That's right.
And still became millionaires.
They're curve busters, man. They take people's excuses away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I love folks like that. It's incredible.
Yeah, it's like, and then there's Nick and Rose.
That's right.
So.
That's right.
This is The Ramsey Show. Matthew 7:11 is our scripture of the day. If you then, though you are evil, know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your Father in heaven give good gifts to those who ask him? Thomas Fuller said, charity should begin at home, but should not stay there. RC's with us in Costa Rica. Hey, RC, what's up?
Great, Dave. How are you?
Better than I deserve. How can we help?
Well, it's a true honor to be on the phone with you. And I also want to note, John, you are a great value add to the program. Love listening to you.
Thank you so much. How can we help?
So my question is, how do you deal with the emotion of your asset values and the crazy fluctuations we're seeing in the stock market these days? You know, I'm an everyday millionaire. It took me probably 20 years of hard work to build up $1 million in a nest egg. And I've well surpassed that now. But now you watch over the course of 4 months and you can see $1 million eradicate out of your investment balance almost seemingly overnight. And so
Whoa. How did you lose it? You got $20 million in investments?
Well, I had $6 million.
Okay.
The market's down.
Market's down 6% in a 12-month period of time.
But it's down 18% since January 1st.
No, it's not. It's down 6% in a 12-month period of time. It wasn't back up that far. So
over the last 4 months, it's down 18%, though.
Let's see. 36 to 31. Yeah, probably 15. Okay. So, but that's still not $1 million on $6 million, is it? Yeah, I guess it is. Okay. Close enough.
My math does that.
Yeah,
so.
you're pretty close. Okay, I'm back with you. Okay, so the bottom line is, though, how do I deal with it? I didn't even know it until I looked it up a minute ago. So I don't track it day by day by day because you're not using this money day by day by day. And the fact that you are in the market and have been in the market for years, you have ridden these waves before. What is it about this one that's got you so troubled?
Well, I think what happens is, as you do grow your wealth, the numbers become a bit more astronomical when you start thinking back to where you started.
Yeah. Do you realize, though, that you picked the highest point in 12 months to compare to the lowest point in 12 months?
No, I understand that.
That your emotions picked the worst possible scenario in anywhere in the entire 12 months, much less anywhere in the past 10 years.
No, I'm certainly not arguing with you about that. It's the anchoring bias where you attach to the best. It's an anchoring bias. I understand that.
Yeah.
And it's human nature to anchor.
You ask how I deal with it emotionally. Number one, I'm always looking forward from it, and I'm not concerned about a 31,000 Dow any more than I was concerned about a 36,000 Dow, i.e. a 15% shift since January the 4th. It appears to be the high date. I'm sitting here pulling it up while we're talking about it, but I hadn't even looked at it before today until you called, because I thought your numbers were BS, but they're not. So, but because most of the time people exaggerate their numbers when they're going down because they're in freak out mode. There's a psychological study done years ago that says you have to recoup $3 for every dollar lost to feel even. Loss is way heavy on your
overstate.
Yeah, losses you get more credit for losses in your emotions than you do in your increases. So I'm always just looking out. I'm going, okay, how old are you, RC?
54 almost.
Okay, so I'm 61. I don't have as long as you got probably, and I'm not worried about it because I'm looking out 20 years, 10 years. I mean, if I got $6 million sitting in the market, it's going to go up a lot during the next 10 years, and you're really not pulling it out today. I'm not bailing out on it.
Can I ask you? I'm going to ask you a quick question. Hey, RC.
Sure.
Is there a chance you're going to get out? That you would cash?
No, I've got good financial advisors. They won't let me do that.
Okay.
So I've got a strong.
All right.
Okay.
It's just the emotion. It's just the emotion of the click on the website, and you go, "Oh my God!" Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So let me tell you this.
Yeah.
If I know that I'm not going to take action B, then I am not going to spend the emotional energy on consuming actionable data on that variable. See what I'm saying? If I'm never going to jump out of the market unless my financial advisor calls me and says, "Hey, this is World War III, get out now." If that short of that, I didn't know it was down 15% because I don't look, because I'm never getting out what I've put in there. You see what I'm saying? And so the emotional energy, I don't even put those dollars on the table because I'm never going to spend them.
Yeah,
emotionally.
That's a good point. And it is the thing, RC. It's a great question, by the way.
It's a great question.
And I apologize for calling your number BS because it really wasn't. The more I'm looking at it, playing with it while we're sitting here, catching up with
you. But I don't look.
But with the data points you're using, your numbers are accurate. But I don't look at it, and it's the same thing we were talking about in an earlier segment. Warren Buffett, when the market dropped in 2007-8, it went from 13,000 to 6,500. It's down 50%. And they said, "Mr. Buffett, Berkshire Hathaway, you lost X number of billions of dollars," and he goes, "I ain't lost anything.
I ain't sold anything
because I didn't sell it."
That's right. Yeah.
And RC, you haven't lost anything.
Yeah, you haven't lost a thing. You've lost the perception of. Yeah. Or the perceived value of.
Yeah. The only reason that you would be freaked out about this is if you felt like it was a trend that was going to continue. I don't. I don't know. I mean, it might go down for 2 years. We may be in a recession. Biden may screw up everything for a while, and then it'll come along somebody else, and they'll have their own version of screwing it up. And so, it's just I've prospered under every president and every party in spite of all of them. is the way I look at it.
And you've had down seasons probably across every president, right?
Yeah, and you know, I went broke during Ronald Reagan.
There you go.
You know, I mean, you know, and I'm a Reagan fan, but some of the stuff he did was nasty bad for the world I was in. Mary is with us in Jacksonville, Florida. Hi, Mary. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure. I'm a little short on time. Go straight to your question, please.
Well, what do you do when your husband knows that you don't support co-signing a loan for your 20-year-old son who just moved back with you, and then you find out after the fact when you ask what's the status that he went ahead and signed the loan, co-signed a loan with our son?
So what do you do when your husband deceives you on something that means a lot after you've talked about it?
Exactly. And
this is called financial infidelity.
He violated your trust.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
And he says it's personal, the reason I didn't want to do it, because my son and I have always butted heads.
Mary, has he done this before on other things?
Yes.
Yes.
A long time ago.
Yes. These things rarely happen in a vacuum, and so you're bringing all of that history back to this moment, and it's fair to do, right? Because he violated your trust again, and I'm so sorry.
Yeah. So I don't know what to do. I don't know. It's like I'd already told him. I said it's extremely dangerous, and I don't support it. Moreover, he doesn't even have a regular job. He does DoorDash.
It doesn't matter. Your son is not in the equation.
It's not about math.
This is your husband lying to you.
Yeah. Again.
This feels like he had an affair. It activates the exact same place in your emotions.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. So treat it like you've had an affair. And that means you need to go see a marriage counselor, and he needs to go too. Because this is activating exactly the same level of trust. We see it all the time. And I got to tell you, he has no idea, because he's blind as a bat, how much damage he's doing. Because he thinks this is innocent, and he just overrode you because you were emotional and weren't using good judgment, and he disagreed with your decision. But all of that was used in his mind to justify his affair. And it feels the same way. I'm so sorry, honey.
Yeah.
I know this hurts.
Hear me and Dave say the hurt you feel is valid.
Real
it's
and
real.
valid.
I'm so sorry.
And you should be hurt, and you should be angry, and you need to go see a marriage counselor, and so does he. Desperately. This is not going to end well if you guys don't work through this. That puts this hour of the Ramsey Show in the books. We'll be back with you before you know it. In the meantime, remember, there's ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ
Deloney,
Jesus.
Co-host of The Ramsey Show. Did you know over 18 million people listen to The Ramsey Show every week? A lot of those people listen on one of our 600-plus radio stations across the country. To find a station near you, go to RamseySolutions.com/show.